Let's now turn our attention to our wonderful friends from Poland. And this week we're talking about the Seeing Assistant move. And by the way, Seeing Assistant is the umbrella. And so things like move or home. And I think there's another one in development. I'll let Greg and Slow me talk about that. You guys, welcome to Blind Android Users Podcast. And let's begin with you, Slowomi. What's going on in Poland? Tell us a little bit about Poland, because I think a lot of our listeners perhaps don't know where Poland is, or if there are any other cities in Poland besides Warsaw.
Hello, nice to meet you, nice to hear you, nice to be with you. I don't think I should talk too much about Poland because you can get this information, I don't know, from Wikipedia. I'm from Warsaw. I mean, I live now in Warsaw for many, many years. It's the capital of Poland. We've got cities like Krakow, Poznań, Gdansk, Łódź, and many, many, many others. In people, there live about 38 million people. It's in Central Europe by the Baltic Sea, and so on and so on and so on. And in this country, there is a Polish software house called. I mean, with the name, not Polish name, really, Transition Technologies, and that's the company in which we work and in which we develop our Seeing Assistants. Firstly, maybe I'll tell a few words about the company. I mean, this company was founded in 1991, so it's been a while. There were on the beginning there were 5 people. Now it's I think over 3,000 people employed. We've got offices in Poland, different cities in Poland, also in other countries like Germany, France, United States, Sweden, I think, and in Malaysia, in Asia. So, and the company is main area is totally different than this one in which we are working. So the company is doing many different solutions for energy market, for power stations, for natural gas storage, and now also some solutions for medicine, in many fields. It's a big software house, but practically from the beginning, the management of the company was thinking about doing also something else to other people. I mean, when they realized that they earn enough money, or quite a lot of money, they said, okay, why not to do something for people who need or might need our help or our knowledge. And that's how the story with the Seeing Assistant has started, which was about 12 years ago. And during all this time, we were developing, these applications, like you said, Seeing Assistant Home, Seeing Assistant Move. There was also Sailing. This is on iOS, Seeing Assistant Alarm, GPS, and others. But this main or more important two are Seeing Assistant Home and Seeing Assistant Move.
Slow, tell us, what's your role in all of this?
I call myself Spiritus Movens from Latin, which is which is the I'm the engine, let's say, of this project. But Gregor is the brain, and there are also other people working on this project, mainly testers and people who also volunteers, the users who call us or write us and ask for new functions, new solutions. They share their ideas, they share their experience. So it is the project that lives, on different platforms and different levels, as it should be, because we are doing, the application for the blind. We are also blind. I'm partially sighted, very partially sighted. Gregor's blind, and other people also here that work in the company. But we've got also sighted people, mainly developers for Android and iOS, because that field is not accessible, or not is not very friendly, and it's difficult to make native applications for these systems for the blind person. So that's why we do it, with sighted people.
Hey, Greg, how about you tell us about yourself? And since you're the brain behind all of this, tell us about your role and how you came to this, or to be part of this Seeing Assistant.
Okay, hello everybody. It's nice to meet you online today. I think that the Sławomir is in fact the brain behind the Seeing Assistant applications. He is an inventor of this idea, the offer of many initiatives regarding new functions. How to say? I might say he is a product owner. I mean, the man who drives the direction these products are going. And I'm not a brain. I'm only one of many hands working on these projects. My role is mainly regarding server-side software developing. I mean, some sort of PHP, JavaScript, prototyping some things on the web applications, some simple things, and but mainly the server backend technology. For example, the processing of the map data, OpenStreetMap data, and improving the Valhalla routing engine we are using, and I think we'll be talking about it in near future, and things like this. So the server-side software developer.
Let's talk about the name Seeing Assistant. How did you guys come up with this chosen name, Seeing Assistant, which is actually the umbrella for all of your apps that you produce, like the Move, the Home, and the other one you just mentioned a little while ago, the Sailing, and then there's another one on the Apple side of things that we don't have on Android. Tell us about how you came about choosing the title Seeing Assistant.
Oh, the story is not very exciting. I mean, it was just a natural process of choosing a name. There was a brainstorm with the people who at that time were involved in this project. We were discussing, quarreling, and finally we voted, and this name was chosen for the application. It's from one side it's good, from the other is bad. I mean, good, it's because it tells quite a lot about the project, about its aim, but it is probably a bit too long, but it is so, and we are not going to change it.
So what actually does Seeing Assistant Move does actually?
Oh, that is a very long story because the application is very big. I mean, it has many functionalities, and in fact, it is not the only. It is not one app. It is several apps in one app. Complex set of functions, maybe not complex because we still have many ideas and things to do, but it has got a lot of functions that are projected to blind people. We are concentrating from the beginning to give as many possibilities as possible to this GPS information that we can get from the maps points and of course you have to know that we were inspired also by this Lodestone application that was made on Android, not Android, on Symbian phones. By the way, created by your colleague from Canada. I forgot his name. Kirk. Gregor, can you help me?
Sean Kirkpatrick, of course.
Kirkpatrick,
Canadian.
Sean Kirkpatrick, yeah.
So it's a Canadian product. We're talking about Lodestone here that you guys kind of got an idea from and decided to do your own, but maybe fix it better. Because sometimes what happens is that when someone has an app, there are some pitfalls, and then someone says, "Hey, I wish they could have done something better. They could have done it this way." And if you're a developer, then you come up with your own and do your own, right?
Yeah, yes, that's right. But better because the possibilities that came with these new smartphones with the tactile screens were also bigger than this presented by Symbian. So that's why. And we are really using also points. Mainly, this application is concentrating on using points. The other level would be when we could use more objects like lines or fields, things like that. But it is another story. Generally, with Seeing Assistant Move, you can get different information from different sources of points, like OpenStreetMap, Google Maps, and you've got several main functions. First one would be monitoring, which is when you turn on monitoring and select the source of points that you want to monitor, the application will announce you the closest point from that category. So when you get when you are in a tram or in a bus and you are interested in bus stops you are passing by, you just select the source of points, people, transportation, and from now on the application can give you information about the closest bus stop, and that's it. Then you've got the exploration mode, in which you can explore the area that is around you. So when you move the phone around, the application will tell you about points that are in the direction you are showing. When you hold your phone with the screen to the sky and turn around, the application will tell you about the points that are in the direction you are indicating. The other function is tracking points. You can add any point to so-called track, and the application will give you information about the distance, about the direction to that point, and you can track or one point on azimuth, or you can create your own route. Route is a set of points that come one after another. They have got a set order from one, to from the first one to the last one. So the order is very important here, and you can create your own routes, or you can ask a tool that will calculate a route for you, and we call this turn-by-turn navigation. And for this, we use Gregor modified the Valhalla engine, and from now on, you've got the track with several points, and you can go from one point to another, and that's how it works. Then we've got the function about, it's called description of crossings or intersections, and the application will give you information about the intersection you are approaching, about names of the streets and the directions in which they run. What else? And of course, at any time you can ask about the closest point or closest address using these different point sources that I mentioned before. And we mainly work with OpenStreetMap and in Android with Google Maps, and on iOS with Apple Maps. So that's in shortest I could do, because the application really has many other functions and options, and anyone can adjust it to his need. Maybe one thing more I should say, because that is the function that distinguish our application among others, is the possibility to save your settings, user settings. For example, when you are in a bus, you need different information than when you are walking. So you can adjust the application to your needs when you are in a bus, and save these settings. Give the name to these settings, for example, transportation, and then do another set of settings when you are walking, and give it another name and save it as a different set of settings. And each time you want to change it, you can do it in 2 seconds, and all is set. So that is the thing that gives you the possibility to to adjust the application immediately to your needs at the certain moment.
I can say something. It's worth mentioning, but Sławomir didn't say about the most important thing related to the Move application. I mean, as we all know, there is a few applications for the blind people helping in navigation, but our Seeing Assistant Move is for sure the most advanced tool in this category. For example, I don't know any other application for blind people who would allow to import and load to the application the file in GPX format, for example, download it from the internet, and then follow this route saved in this GPX file. And of course, it's not only a unique function of the Move applications. We have many more advanced functions, which can be some sort of discouraging for some users, that it's not very simple application after first run. People may have an impression that it's very difficult and very hard to get to use this application. But of course, it's all because of these many functions we are providing for the users.
Yes, that's right. We've got also the possibility to create and import the databases with points. So you can work offline. You can register your own routes. You can save your location. You can share the routes with other people. Really, there's many things. And as Gregor said, it is rather big application with many functions, and really there is also something that is very very needed, which is the knowledge. I mean, people have to know quite a lot about navigation, about the terminology we use. You have to learn it. We have to know quite a lot about positioning systems, how they work, when the application can see that you are moving, and when it won't be possible. I mean, when you are moving too slow, the GPS system might have problem with giving the information about the direction you are moving. When you don't have direction, then you won't be able to receive the information about the next points. We use also compass, but you have to know that compass works good, but when you are in a train where there is a electric field, the compass is not working at all. I mean, it is showing you bad results. You have to know that what is the accuracy of the accuracy of positioning. You have to know what we mean by saying the radius of monitoring, or radius of points, communicates distance. There's quite a lot of things to learn. I mean, of course, from the beginning we pay very special attention to the terminology. We are very concentrated on doing the application and the terminology quite unique. I mean, not to give the same names for different options. So I think it is quite ordered, although we know also that the interface needs rebranding, and we will do it one day. But because now after this 10 years of developing the application, we know and we see that it needs reordering. But however, when you want to have a very advanced tool that gives you a lot of independence, and you may learn it, and you should learn it, because these maybe hundreds of hours that you sacrifice will pay you back.
So I really like the idea of the app and how it's being implemented, because as you both pointed out, mentioned the fact that I don't have to use like countless apps for me to get the experience I want or the independence I want. However, my question is, because I have not like tested the app as much, can I save a certain address? Like for instance, I visit a place often, right? So I want to save this certain point. And I would just I would let the app that yes, I visit this place often. So once I pick that place, it'll take me to it. So can I save an address, like a certain location that I go to?
Yes. Track points. All notifications on. Button. Activate.
Yes, of course. I mean, this is the very, very basic function. I mean, you can save any location, and you can save the location in at least two different modes. I mean, or you press the button save location, and the application will you will have to write or dictate a name for the point, or the application can automatically get the closest address to that point, and this name of the address will be the name of the point. So it is very easy. We'll just press one button. Let's say a second, maybe.
Open. Turn by turn navigation. On. Home. Page home. Turn by
Okay.
save
I
current.
have a question.
Save current location, and then that's all.
Okay, so my question is, how does the app is accurate in countries like India?
The application works everywhere on the world where there is data on OpenStreetMap or Google Maps, but mainly on OpenStreetMap. We concentrate on this data because this data is for free and we can use it without limitations. Because with Google there's a different story, and you can use only some things in limitations, but with OpenStreetMap there is no limitation.
I would like to clarify one thing, sorry, because the application has the same accuracy everywhere, not in every country or in every place. It depends only on the GPS accuracy or another geolocation technology which your phone is using, and of course. What you are asking about is how accurate is the data we are using in the application, and it's of course different in different countries or even in different cities. The OpenStreetMap can work differently, because if in some town there is there are some people interested in developing the OpenStreetMap. It's developed very dynamically, and it develops nicely. And in some towns where there aren't many interested people, there is a slower progress of OpenStreetMap development. But taking into account that many companies are using also are using the OpenStreetMap data, they are interested in developing it in different countries, in different cities. So of course, the best thing to do is to just to download, install, and check it out. But apart of the data accuracy and data incompleteness or completeness in your area, for me, I remember very well the day when I was first time I was using the GPS navigation. It was a Lowstone on the very old the Nokia Symbian phone. It was about just 15 or 16 years ago. And it was, for me, it was a very great, powerful experience for me as a blind person to have possibility of saving the point, precisely saving the point I am in. So I could save to the software, to the database. I could save the place where when I know how to travel from. I mean, for example, the bus stop, and then I could go to the forests, walk through the forests on the paths which I don't know. I never been there before, and I knew that every time I would like to return to this bus stop, I know how to travel from. It will be possible using this application. So even without any external data like OpenStreetMaps or other mapping services, even the possibility of saving some your
just 1 point.
yeah, 1 point or more points is very important. As for example, another great thing was to travel to some unknown hotel or unknown place, unknown city, and then first thing to do is to save in the database a point of this temporary home, just to be able to return from everywhere there.
Okay, one more question. So we can say that it can also lost us like the Google Map does. Like we can get lost or we can go on the wrong way because of this application as well.
Yes, I mean, I'm saying always that you can put me in any point of the world, and with this application I will be always be able to go back home. It doesn't really matter which methods I will be using, whether it will be navigation on azimuth, or whether I will be able to generate a turn-by-turn route from the engine. But always I'll be always back.
I think you didn't go. Complete first. You complete first.
And you can of course register your own route if you are going somewhere and then you want to go back the same route, then you can do it as well.
Okay. No, I think you didn't get my question. Let me give an example. If I'm going to an unknown place, example for some different city, I don't know the route. So in Google Maps, sometimes it shows the wrong route to us. Like then we go somewhere, then we need to take a U-turn because of the wrong route. Like that, it could be the same possibility with this app as well, right?
If the OpenStreetMap data has street data in your in this city you are talking about, it of course is possible to get such routes to get that
from the different engine, not from the Google Maps, but from the engine that we use.
From the engine we are using, improved for the blind people with additional mechanism for the blind people, and it all depends on the OpenStreetMap data and its completeness in your country, in your city. But even without any street data, what Sławomir said before, there is also possibility of navigating on azimuth. I mean, that you get any information that your point of interest, your destination point is to the east, and you are traveling that you are traveling to the north. The point is to the east. So you must, imagine that traveling to the north, you must look for next road turning right, just to be able to go east. And in such method, maybe not optimal, but you will be able to travel to the destination point in a shorter or less shorter way.
Okay.
That's the one of the points. I mean, there is no navigation on streets if these streets are not on the map. If you don't have this information, you don't have streets, lines, then you won't be able to generate a route that will give you directions and information exactly where to turn left or right.
Okay.
So I have a question. Is the app free, or do you have in-app purchases? Is it ad supported? Do you depend on donations? Like, what's your financial model?
Financial model is very simple. This application is being developed in so-called corporate social responsibility strategy, and for Android, this application from the beginning is for free. For some time, the application was paid, just a very symbolic sum on iOS, but then we gave up because the income was just symbolic. So the application, I mean, the management of the company decided that it will be its CSR. So all the applications are for free, lifetime license,
great.
no additional payments. And that's also why we are limited on some sources of points, because if we paid to Google, we could use also their maps, but that would cost too much. I mean, the company is spending quite a lot of money for developing the application, and then paying out quite a lot of money for other things. It's now too much. May I ask you a question? How have you learned about Seeing Assistant Move? Do you know people who use it in Canada or in other countries?
Not from my side. I have not seen, especially because I am not really connected to the much visually impaired people.
So how I heard about the app was actually I've seen it like on some communities for visually impaireds, and I have some friends who are actually on the iOS platform who use the app, and I was really excited by the idea of it. I think it got kind of viral and popular especially on Twitter and social media lately, which is cool. And yeah, I'm really happy with that.
For me, the
nice to
first
hear.
time I heard about Seeing Assistant Move, because I'm always constantly looking for apps, the app Junkie King. And so we talked about this on our mailing list. Miriam's not very active on our mailing list, but it's one of those apps that some people talk about that they prefer. And so it's something we've talked about on Blind Android users. And so it's something that I've known about for quite a while. And then when we talk about GPS apps on our mailing list, and this one is one of those that comes up as one of the good apps to use, besides other ones, competitors like Lazarillo and the likes. The Seeing Assistant Move is one of those that comes up as well.
Okay, nice to hear.
Now, you had said something earlier, and I think about complexity. And usually, what it is that kind of repels people is the complexity of an app or its UI. Management of that UI is sometimes key to whether or not someone is going to use an app or not, because when apps become a little bit too complicated, it becomes a little bit intimidating for some. And I think what happens is that people tend to kind of like, hey, this is too complicated. I can't even get to set it to where I want to go. Is it possible for me to say, pick up the Assistant Move and just, tell it or, input, take me to 202 East Seattle Avenue and tap on go? Will it take me there, or do I need to do anything special to have it take me to 202 East Seattle Avenue?
It depends. It depends because I don't know if you can hear my phone.
No button.
We
Yeah.
can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Wait a
We
second.
can
tap.
hear you.
Do you want still using application in simulation mode? No button. Yes. Home.
I'm now
Find address
in the
button.
simulation
Double tap to
mode,
activate. Double tap and hold
and
to long
I'm
press. Trip meter button.
I'm in
Double
Canada,
tap to activate. Turn by turn navigation.
and
Page
I opened.
by turn
Yes,
navigation.
it's very quick. I
On.
mean, the
Additional
application. Wait
instructions.
a second. And the application, and listen. And here I opened the tab called Turn by Turn Navigation, and here I've got these fields.
Detected. Text. Detected. Text. Detected. Text. And detected. Off. Additional navigate points. Switch. Save points. Home. Home. Page 4 of 7. Save current location. Turn by turn navigate. Turn by turn
navigation.
Detected. Text. Detected. Off. Additional navigate points. Switch. Detected. Text. Endpoint cinema. Grid. Double tap to activate. Detected. Text. Excluded points. Detected. Text. My location.
My location. Okay. So here's the start point is my location. I can choose a different point, but usually 99% you will go from your current location to somewhere. There is another field.
Detected. Text. Excluded points.
Excluded points, because I can tell to the application, listen, I don't want to pass through certain points, because I know that there are many cars, or there are branches, or there are obstacles that I don't like. So I can here put these points that I want to exclude from my route.
Detected. Text. Endpoint cinema. Grid.
And then I choose a point called cinema something in Canada. I'm in
Detected. Text. Foot. Detected. Text. Optimal.
the route I chose as a optimal.
On. Recalculating route. Switch.
On recalculating route. It means that when this switch is on, when I get off the route, because I would like to go on a different way, the application after some time will recalculate and generate a new route, to my destination point.
Off. Additional navigate points. Switch.
Additional navigate points. It is that in this route that will be generated, there will be quite a lot of points, not only these points in which I have to turn right or left, but every, I don't know, 20, 15 meters, there will be a point. Some people like it, and they want to have many points on their route just to know that they are on the right way.
On. Additional instructions. Switch.
Additional instruction. That is our specific function that Gregor was he made it. I mean, and this when you check this application will give you information about crossings, names of the street that you are crossing, going straight. So if your route leads I don't know 300 meters straight, and on this route you have 5 crossings, the application will tell you which street you are crossing. It will tell you also about the stairs, about the gates you have to pass.
Redesignate and track the route button.
And so on. And now I've got a button.
Finish track. Redesignate and track the route button.
Redesignate, because I've got one route already
Redesignate and track the route
designated.
button.
So I
Empty list. Designating route. 0% detected.
and now
Map.
I go to
Off. Additional navigate. On. Additional instructions. Finish tracking. Show track points button.
show track points.
Tracking points. Tracking points. Page
And-
2 of 7. Open button. Active 1. Walk east. 28 meters north in list.
And that's all. And the application has calculated a route for me. I know that this point
Active 1. Walk east. 28 meters north.
is activate.
Double tap to
is
activate.
active.
Double
So
tap and hold to
that
long
is
press.
that is the point I am going now. Then the next point is
2. Turn left. 115 meters northeast.
yes, because I'm not moving now. I'm inside the building and I'm not moving. So the application is telling me about the cardinal directions. But when I go outside and start moving, the application will tell me whether this point is ahead or slightly left or slightly right, and so on. So it isn't difficult, but you have to know that every application has its own UI, and many people complain and say, okay, but in Google Maps or in other application, it is made in a different way. It is. And you can always say that something should be made in another way. But once you stop thinking in this way and you start thinking, okay, let's see how I can work with this application, it's much easier.
I'm very sorry for joining late, Slavomir. I just had one question, and sorry if you've covered it. What will Seeing Assistant Move do if I've programmed in a route and I go the wrong way? So you said it'll read out the cross street, which is brilliant. What if I veer off and accidentally go down that cross street? Will it recalculate? Will it go, oh, hang on a minute, Ed, you've gone the wrong way? Don't do that. What does it do?
Yes. The application will. When you go the wrong direction, the application will tell you that you are going in a wrong way. So you have to turn 180 degrees, and go the other way. That is the and when the application calculates you a route, and it says that you in 100 meters you have to turn left. But you go there and you see, oh gosh, there is a car accident, or the street is blocked, or there is a you can't go there. Then you decide that you turn right. After 50-60 meters, application will or automatically recalculate the route It depends what you check in the application. If you check that the application recalculates automatically, then it will recalculate the route. If not, you can do it manually.
Yeah, that's really good. Because sometimes you'll be traveling along, and if you're not a confident traveler, it might not be that there's an accident. It might just be that you missed that left-hand turn that you mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's also this option when you can calculate a route from point A to point P.
Yeah.
And then you see on the list all these points. You can imagine. You will be informed how the engine calculated a route, and you say, "Oh God, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to the point 15, 16, 17 because there is, a big mess. There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's, I don't know, poles, cars, whatever." You can check these 3 points and then activate an action, exclude points and recalculate routes. And then the second route that will be recalculated will be won't be leading through these points 15, 17, 18.
That makes sense. So I'm thinking about my location, for example, when I'm traveling to the local post office here, and usually the map wants to take me down a street called Anna Claire, and I prefer going on Tacoma Street, for example. So I could, with this app, I would say, exclude Anna Claire. Is that,
yes?
Am I getting it right? That totally makes sense, and I like that. I really like
you
that.
Can exclude, but I suggest you exclude 1 point before and 1 point after, and the point that you want to exclude. Then recalculate a route. Then you can see again whether it goes, as you want, and then you can also save this route. Just for the next time, you can save this route, all of the points of this route to your routes, and then you won't need even connection to the internet because this route will be saved to your routes on your device.
Great.
There's really I'm sometimes joking because when people start asking me whether they begin the sentence, they begin the question, can seeing assistant move do? And I say yes. And in 95% times it is true.
And can I back those save routes up to the cloud in case my phone resets? Does it integrate with OneDrive or Dropbox?
Dropbox, yes.
Only Dropbox.
Yeah, for now, yes. But we are thinking also, to integrate with Google or on iOS with iCloud. But you can also you can send it, via email. This route, you can back up data on your computer. There's no problem.
Great. So one could save it locally if you wanted to, and if you have a new phone, you could simply import your routes or your data points that you've saved, and one is good to go.
Yeah, that's right.
Great.
As I said, I can also simulate location in any point of the world. As I said, now I am I simulated the location in Canada. And
yes button. Tracking points.
And my closest point.
Navigate. Detected. Text. Endpoint cinema. Grid.
No.
Oh. Access. Search for a point. Show neighborhood. Button. Find address. Button. Closest address. Button. Tremblay Road 200. Closest address. Button. Accessibility volume set. Find address. Button. Closest address. Tremblay Road 200. Closest address.
Yes,
button.
from Tremblay Road 200, and it's in Canada. I forgot the city.
Search for addresses and show track points, but save turn by turn navigate. Search for addresses and points in show track points, but search for a point. Find address button. Closest address button. Tremblay Road 200. Closest address button.
Okay, but the point is
save points.
Saved points. I saved the point.
Selected. Badinix
No.
points. Force import databases and routes from directory. Databases list. Favorite points TBT. But saved points. But saved points. Cinema. St. Laurent Boulevard 815 Ottawa. Ottawa Family Cinema Eastern Ontario CA on 2.13
Ontario.
kilometers. List filter. Edit box. Out of list. Cinema. St. Laurent. List filter. Edit box. Station. Tremblay Road 200 Ottawa. Ottawa Eastern Ontario CA on 0 meters north.
Yes, I'm on the central station in Ontario,
That's
which
really
is
good.
6,500 something kilometers from Warsaw.
Yeah. So you can explore a route before you need to
Yeah,
use it.
and I
if you're
can
gonna travel
explore
on
the area
business.
there. I can
Yeah.
explore the area. I can check for bus stops, crossings, pubs,
Great.
everything. Yeah.
Although that family cinema sounds no fun, that's not going to show any dirty pictures, is it? But no, Warren, that was it. That was it from me.
Well, you know.
No, it better
know,
not.
Okay, next time I will search for a pub there.
There you go. Thank you
Yeah,
so
much
much.
better. Pub, football stadium, not boring family orientated entertainment.
Okay.
Great.
Guys, listen, if you want, we can also meet once again, twice, and I can talk more about the application, but it would be really much nicer if there were some people that has tried a little bit of this application to use it, and then you might have many questions, and the discussion will be more interesting.
That makes sense. So, we could try to demo the app. I'll try to see if I, maybe it
I'm
warms
going
up a
to
little.
bring it around Mumbai in episode 101.
You want to demo it in Mumbai in
Yeah.
episode 101? Okay,
Yeah.
great. Austin, if you could do that.
And we
that would
can
be
also
wonderful.
tell in our group.
I can do that
to our
myself
people.
here. That'd be awesome. Like I'm going out with friends this week. I can just demonstrate the app here.
Mhm.
Be awesome.
And if you've got questions, I mean, I can leave contact for me for Warren. And if you've got and when you get stuck, you don't understand, or you won't be able to pass through some functions, or you'll be, we will have problems. Just you can call me and we can speak a bit, and I can explain you some things. No problem.
Wonderful. So we'll put that in. I'll have that info and a way to contact you. You got your email address and things like that. We'll
Yeah,
put
but you have
those
to
in the show
remember that
notes.
there is the time difference between Poland and Canada. And
Yes,
India and things like that.
that's important.
Well, one sec, Slavomir, just to check, Warren. Slavomir, do you want us to do that? Or
Go ahead.
Warren's thinking of putting it in the show notes, which means a whole bunch of people might get in touch with you. So it depends how widely you want that offer to go.
Yeah, maybe just your email.
Yeah, but maybe it's just us. Maybe on the crew, maybe we don't put it in the show notes.
Let's start. We will start with the email, and
Yeah.
then if somebody is very interested in getting this information, I will contact with him or her, and we'll adjust, a meeting, call, whatever. No problem.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for coming to the podcast. And it's been a real fun time with you guys. And as we indicated, we'll put your email address there in our show notes so that people who want to get in touch with you will get in touch with you via that email address. And also to mention here in passing that if you want to come back and talk to us, we're open anytime for you to come back. And most especially, as I indicated earlier, if you would be able to come next week. I need to repeat that and pound on that more and more, because I'm sure there are going to be people in there during this celebration that would like to talk to you about the Seeing Assistant Move. And so next week at the same time, if you could come back
Okay, I'll try.
and bring some of your buddies, I think that's going to be a wonderful party. We do
Okay,
want
I'll-
to thank you so much. You and Greg. Greg,
one-
thank you so much
Thank you very much. Thank you for the
I-
invitation.
for being the
got
brains
one-
behind it.
Phenomenal.
I've got one suggestion, because it is sometimes difficult for us to speak English. Maybe for next time you will learn Polish.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just give us a couple weeks and we'll get on that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, okay, nice.
And you know what you need to do, though, Sławomir, is at least give a shout out to our Polish listeners.
Okay. Okay. Zapraszam wszystkich do słuchania audycji Blind Android Users. Myślę, że to nie jest ostatni raz, kiedy tu gościmy.
Now, Greg, it's your turn.
I would like to say something, but maybe it would be easier for me to say it in C++ or PHP or JavaScript programming language.
Oh, you can do that in Polish too if you want it.
No idea what to say, but maybe as a great challenge, maybe you will try to use some sort of auto translator to translate what Sławomir said before in Polish and to translate it to English.
There must be a bot that will do that, or Babelfish or something.
Yeah.
So I just have one final question about the Polish language. Can you tell me what the Polish word is for cheeks?
Cheeks like this on your face.
Yeah.
Exactly that. Exactly that.
Policzki.
Policzki?
Policzki.
Oh,
Policzki.
that sounds
Now, you know
Brilliant.
what? We need to pull its Policzkis out.
I don't know what your problem with
What do you need it for?
Because I absolutely love pulling people's cheeks.
He
Yeah.
likes to
Just
go
a thing
about
I
and
do.
holding people's
And I as well
Policzki.
collect the
You are
different
close.
words for cheeks.
Yeah.
Policzki?
Cheeks, yeah. You are close to the Polish girl and you want to kiss her, yes?
Thank you.
Mhm. I'm pulling my own Policzki right now. I'm pulling my own Policzki.
Policzki.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Oh, leave it to Ed. You know, Policzki. Beautiful.